it's all natural.
That's right.
Well, now in the early going, has the culture of the room felt different under the new leadership, both Don Waddell and Dean Evason, in your mind?
Absolutely. I think there's a lot of energy this year. Obviously, last year at the start and whatever happened wasn't easy for everyone. You could say the same thing this year with Johnny here, but as far as the hockey goes and the way the message is put out in the room and what we're trying to build here, there's definitely an up in energy, and guys are excited to go here.
Just how together is this team, even just from the end of last season through everything that happened until now? Just how much closer are you guys?
Yeah, this is my third season now with the team, and it's always felt like a close group, but it seems to be getting closer and closer every year. Guys really want to be part of the solution and trying to get this team to be competitive and be back in the playoffs, and really feels like everyone's buying into that and taking the role to heart here. So I'd say like I said, the atmosphere and the expectations are higher, and it's really fun to be around already.
You know how those teams played under Evason in Minnesota. Was there anybody more excited by the hire, you think, than you were? That seems to fit right into your wheelhouse, the physical, high energy.
Yeah, I think he just expects the team to play a certain way regardless of your role in the team. I think we're going to be a much harder, much more physical team all around. So even excluding me out of that, where that's more my game, I think just as a team we're going to be more leaning towards that kind of style of play now. For a group like us, a young group like us, that's good because we're going to be able to showcase our skill, but also implement that in our overall game, and I think that's where we needed to improve last year.
I know it's only a couple of practices, but on your line you have another Sillinger and Owen Sillinger. Just what stands out about him in the early going that fits on with you and Kuraly so well?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously they're a pretty good hockey family over there. The younger Silly has been with us. He's always been awesome and mature beyond his years. But I think Owen's, it's his first entry level, and we're all very happy for him because he's a guy that works his ass off, and he came in ready this year. And our line, we always try to play high pace, and with Danny out, someone's got an opportunity here in practice. At least it seems like he's taking the most of it, and he's doing a good job with us. So it's been going good first 2 days.
Do you already have a knot over your left eye, or is that just? It looks like you have a bruise or something up there already.
Probably my kids wrestling at me. My youngest jumped to the couch and brought the elbow down on me the other day, so that's probably from what that's from. That's the only explanation I can see.
Practice at home.
I mean, I didn't teach him that, so I don't know where that came from, but yeah.
One thing I did want to kind of touch on was hockey's become so numbers oriented, and everyone thinks they can predict everything. One thing that's not predictable maybe is just like how tight knit a team is, and how much that can actually help.
Yeah.
It seems like you guys, even from carrying over from last year, and then obviously the tragedy with Johnny. Mm-hmm. It seems like you guys are right there already as far as a tight group that is going to play for each other.
Yeah.
How much can that help a team to have that kind of outlook, I guess, going into a season?
Yeah, it's definitely needed. I think you need to have a group that's very cohesive and gets along. Now, with that being said, you also have to have guys that are able to say things the way they are, right? We can't be always nitpicking around everyone, and we've got to be able to call each other out in a respectful way and expect more out of each other. And to your point, like you said, hockey's a numbers game and all of that now, but I know last year for some reason, or whatever it is, our expected goals for or against were more in our favor than most games already showed, so that just speaks volume to you, right? Maybe we're supposed to win those games, but we didn't. So to me, that's not part of the solution. To me, it's we got to be able to expect more out of each other and talk through things that aren't right and not be afraid to do it, and that's part of being a close group.
Did you better than day one for me?
Is that right?
I think it all just depends.
Is it
Yeah,
right?
day one. Yeah, it's every day there's a little less going on between the years, and I think it's always
better when you're not thinking.
helps the legs.
Yeah.
Ask Matt Olivier this question, just with Dean Evason, Don Waddell. Now that you guys are out in the ice, have you noticed like any sort of a change at all within the room? Maybe some of the culture in the early going.
I think it's or maybe early to speak on some of that, Mark, but we're hitting our systems really early, and that's I think that's a bit of a change, which is nice. I think you're seeing power play and PK on day one, which how important those things are in this league. So right away, that's telling you what the emphasis is going to be as a player, what we're working on right away, and what we're spending all our time on. So there's some changes, and I think the emphasis is on getting the structure down quickly, and realizing that our structure is going to be a major strength of this team if we can all get on the same page as soon as possible.
And as someone who's been on the team for a few years now, the whole togetherness factor, you guys have always been a close-knit group, but do you feel now, after everything that's happened, you guys are even closer as the season gets underway?
Yeah, we've obviously we've been through a lot together. This group, I think we've got some new pieces, and obviously, just this group has been through the tragedy, and so there's you have that unfortunate bond and that in common. So yeah, it's always important. I think we're a group that's trying to focus on. I think we're having the most fun when we're out playing hockey, and I think that's where we feel our most free and our most excited, and kind of feeling like that's where we like to be. So being back on the ice, I think, has been a big part of feeling together.
All the guys that were added this offseason, Monahan, JVR, Jack Johnson, this team looks bigger. Does it look bigger from your seat as well?
I think I saw that comment the other day, and I think when you see kind of the group, so we're kind of half and half on the group.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say that, obviously.
You're
The group is
split.
not together.
You're split.
Yeah. Okay. We can say, and you see these teams that are playing late into the spring are big teams,
Yeah.
and I think it's just a trait that these teams that play late have, and I think we're getting closer to being a bigger team. It'd be fun to see the group on the ice together, I guess, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the group on the ice together. When you see your 8 defensemen and your 13, 14 forwards, I think that's when you kind of get a really good idea of what it is.
Yeah.
I haven't seen both groups, but I saw JVR walk in the other day, and that was a nice sight to see. And a big body, and a guy that's been around, and JJ is a big guy. Monty is obviously a well-sized guy and playing up the lineup for us. So size seems to be a major commodity, and we're happy to have some of it.
Along with that size and strength, those three guys in particular also bring, and you kind of touched on it, a ton of experience and age. This is a team that's always, you guys still have a ton of young talent, which is great, but is it good to kind of see the age go up a little bit just in terms of experience added?
Yeah, it puts me further from the top, which I like. I don't like being there too early on that
You're
list.
one of those guys. I'm putting you in there.
I know.
So,
Yeah, it's good. It's I think it just feels like certain circumstances call for certain people to speak up at different times, and you just feel there's more availability of someone to step up at different times, and you can kind of lean on each other in those moments and have more options, and it's almost like depth in that position, and that's nice. That's a good feeling. As the older guys, you kind of have you don't have to think it's always one or two or three guys that need to say something, and we're going to need that from this group. We're going to need to lead by committee, and it's not just going to be the old guys either. It's some of the most important thing, I think, is some of the young guys leading in their own way and bringing people along with them, and we're going to need every guy to bring a couple guys with them, and I think we'll be in good shape if we can do that.
Certainly in the early going, but with Danforth's injury, there's always opportunity. Another cylinder joining your line. Just what stands out about Owen in the early going, you and Olivier?
Yeah, Owen, he's got that competitive spirit, and he works, and he wants it, and that's all you ask, I think, is what you want in a line mate, someone that's just going to work and show up every day, and he's putting his best foot forward. You love to see it, and he's obviously a good person and a good player, and he knows how to play the game, and he's smart. he checks a lot of the boxes. It's been fun. First day I was playing with him. I was excited about it. So it's been fun. I think what you try to do is anytime you can get three together, just make the most of it and kind of see what the three you can do. Maybe we're together for one day, maybe we're together for 10. I think you kind of look at it as a challenge. Like how quickly can we get on the same page? How quickly can we make an impact? How quickly can we do what we need to do to help the team win? And he's a piece that seamlessly fits right in that spot.
One more from me about Rick Nash, somebody from your past growing up to, and now here, the promotion that he ended up getting. Just what all has he meant to this organization from your seat?
Oh yeah, I mean, where do you start? Obviously, I was here watching Rick when I was a kid, and I think we might have played. His last games were in Boston, so we even played our last He played his last NHL games, and we were on the same team. So, boy, what a weird thing to say. But obviously, Nasher's just meant so much to this city. He was our first superstar, and kind of the guy that everyone wanted to be when you were playing. When I was growing up playing here, and it's just so important, I think, to have a guy like that back around in this organization. It just means so much, and he's still such a massive name and legend in this city that to have him working on our common goal with us, I think, is really important, and we're darn lucky to have him in this organization, and we're looking forward to, obviously having him around and getting better.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How was summer?
Yeah, summer is good. Thank you for asking.
Is it like refreshing to go back home, see family, that kind of stuff?
Yeah, it's good for mentally, and a lot of energy, a lot of emotions at home with family, and coming back for work.
Kirill, it's just 2 days into camp. So far, what have you thought of playing with Monahan and Jenner on the same line?
Oh, it's
exciting, eh?
yeah, I'm excited. It's a good line, good guys. They have a lot of games on the NHL.
Yeah.
They help me a little bit, and I think we will be good.
Yeah.
I like it.
They're both really heavy on the puck. They really protect the puck well. Does that serve you well as well as a line, just the ability to possess the puck for a long time?
Yeah, I think we can hold the puck. We can play with puck a lot because they can really good protect.
Yeah.
And win the battles. I try to do the same thing. I try to learn small moments, small details, and I think we will be good.
This is gonna be your third season already. I can't believe it's that fast.
So fast.
Yeah. Do you feel, because you've already done this kind of 2 times before, that you're ready to maybe make another step?
Yeah, of course. I want to make steps every day, every season, like big, small steps. And I don't know how it will be work, but I want to do that, and I will try it. I have a good emotions, good physical conditioning, and just do my best.
You have a number of younger guys who are not too young, right? Like you're
24, not too young.
Like Chinnikov, yourself, even Voronkov, KJ, Silly, all these guys. How important is it going to be for that group to kind of take that next step and help carry this team?
Yeah, if we all young guys, what you talk about, make a next step, I think it's the next level for our team, and we can look like a different team. We need to be better for everybody and try to keep it and going up.
Just on a personal note, how's it been transitioning back to English after a summer in basketball?
Yeah, it's tough a little bit. I say first week, guys don't speak on the English with me because I forget everything. But now I'm every day better and better. I think I will be good on that, but I try to learn. Oh, thank you, Хорошо.
Did you work on any new moves over the summer?
New moves, what's mean? Stick handling?
Yeah, stick handling, shoot up moves.
No, chip in, chip out. Go to forecheck.
Right.
Yeah.
That's all you did?
Yeah. No. Of course, I work some moments. Try to heads up more and work on my stick handling. Every time when you're on the ice, you try to play on situation. Mm-hmm. If I can stick handling some guy, I will do it. But sometimes it's not a good time for that, and we figure out. I think we need to play some games because 5 months without games is tough.
How much do you work in the off season on just hockey stuff? I mean, is it all 5 months, or do you take some time off, or?
Oh, I take some time off, but not long. I think two weeks only, and start to 1st May or 6th May. Just on the gym and after ice and like keep going on the season.
Did you play soccer this year? Or
No,
basketball?
not soccer.
No basketball.
I am professional sportsman now. I don't know. I don't want to take some injuries. But I really want to play in basketball or soccer, but I can't. Yeah, just need to be safe.
How much more comfortable do you feel at the start of camp this year as opposed to last year?
Oh, last year I have injury in this time, and I can't be on this team. Now I feel okay. I don't say like really comfortable because it's a lot of new things here, and we just need the time. But yeah, I really like it. I excited more, and I think every day I'm more comfortable and more and more. Sorry for English, but you understand me, guys.
One here. When you look at this team the last couple of years as far as injuries go, I mean, it's just kind of crazy, the amount and number they have. And I'm sure there's some fluke ones and freak ones in there. I mean, how much did you kind of dive into that and maybe look at like what the reason was for some of these things, if there's anything you can even connect?
I'll be completely honest with you. Yeah, I've heard that, but I think you've heard me say I don't care what happened last year, or the year prior to that. Yes, is our medical staff aware, and but you can get prepared all you want, and there's going to be injuries in the game, and so I don't, can you dive in and go, well, maybe we shouldn't have did this bench press or something? I don't believe in that. You do what you believe is the best to prepare the group to get on the ice, and then we just we hope that nothing happens, and if there are injuries, then the best thing for us to do is create the depth to have within the organization that we feel very comfortable with to help us if in fact that happens. And after watching 2 days now of training camp, I think our depth is fantastic. And again, it's early, and we're not playing against anybody, but the guys that are in Cleveland and the people that are pushing to play pro hockey, they all a lot of skill, but a lot of size and speed, and so looking forward to hopefully that continuing to develop and translate into the depth that we're talking about.
I know, from a coaching perspective, I know that you guys always want a team that is tight-knit, and you're always chasing that, right? Guys yesterday even were talking about, I mean, very obviously tragic circumstances here. We all know that. Does it feel like because of that, there may be some tightness already with this team? And if so, how far can being a tight-knit group and playing for each other, as you guys always say, take a team?
I believe in it as much as anything. Yeah, we have to dial in our systems. Yeah, we got to be in great shape. Yeah, we've got to defend and score goals. But if you can make up for some mistakes, you can make up for some different situations by working for and with each other. And did Johnny and Matthew's situation make us tighter? Maybe. I think this group was tight. A lot of people have talked about, well, we got to change the culture in Columbus and this and that. I come into a situation where these guys are close-knit already, and I think it's a huge credit to our leadership group, starting with Boone, who's just a quality human being. And yeah, are we going to try to strengthen that and enhance that to the point where, you know, they're playing hard for each other each and every night, 100%. And we've talked about it before. If we know that Johnny's presence is with us, and he's, you know, he's going to help us, you know, not only through this year, but for the future here in Columbus.
Dean, you probably have as many guys at this camp as, I don't want to speak for what you've been through before, but at any camp who feel like they may have a shot to make this team. Have you noticed that from the sort of what people would consider bubble guys? If you've seen it's only 2 days into camp, but do you see that drive from?
Yeah, 100%. And I'm really looking forward to seeing it continue here through preseason games, right? I mean, it's one thing to look good in practice, and you know, we're doing drills, and you know, although we are competing against each other, the compete battle is really high for the first 2 days. We didn't ease into it. They're battling. So, but to answer your question, like, to get on the ice, even like for our guys, for me personally, to see them up front and watch their speed and their size and see it, and you know, but to take that another step with the guys that were in Cleveland and the guys that are coming in, I do believe that the players, well, I know that because Don and I have stated it in the meeting, that it's, you know, there's a clean slate here for guys, right? Yeah. So, like, there's some guys that I didn't know Boone Jenner, right? So I don't know some of these guys in Cleveland. So, yeah, there's a clean slate for all of them, and I think we've seen that with how hard they're pushing here, obviously early in camp.
Rick Nash being promoted up to Director of Hockey Operations, you and him go back a little bit. What makes him such a good piece of this organization?
Well, if you ever spoke to him, first, he's an incredible man. I've had the opportunity to work with him with Team Canada this summer in Prague. He was our general manager. I've watched how he conducts himself around the team. I've watched his meetings. He's not a super vocal guy or a guy that comes in loud, but when he speaks, everybody listens. Obviously has an incredible history in this game and as a player. Now he's using a lot of that and a lot of who he was, you know, translating into his management, and obviously Don and the entire organization recognize that, and you know, we've got him in a position where he can help us put together a hockey club that you know, hopefully someday wins the Stanley Cup.
Have you and the medical staff gotten together and put a plan in place for Danforth that may see him potentially be ready for the start of the season? Or
yeah, I you know, it's hard to, you know, I always talk, if I had a crystal ball, that would be awesome. I'd love to see if he's going to be here, but one day at a time. You know, but obviously we've seen some wonderful progression, you know, for him and being able to handle pucks now, and you know, you guys know probably better than me, his work ethic is as high as it gets, so he's going to put himself in a position to start the season. Obviously, I think that's probably you know, what his thought process is, and we'll take it one day at a time, and he'll keep developing and hopefully get him to that spot that he can be with us at the start of the season.
That last group out there, Justin Pearson, Pavel Chayan were not out there. Is there any update on them that you can share?
No, I'm not going to run down, you know, just because you know, a lot of personnel that I don't even, you know, 2 days in. So yeah, we're just going to take it, you know, day by day. You'll see some people popping in and out, and I think you've probably seen there's a couple of line combinations that we're fiddling with a little bit to see some chemistry stuff.
Your team in Minnesota played a certain brand of hockey that a lot of people really appreciate. Columbus saw that up close and personal a few times. Will you play that same style of play with the Blue Jackets, or have you tailored things differently based upon talent?
Well,
depth.
hopefully you're speaking to that our teams played hard every night, that they played strong defensively, they played really well in the neutral zone, and they scored lots of goals.
That's exactly what I meant.
Right, right, and that's what
Didn't
we're
give
looking.
up many goals either.
And no, and do we have to defend? Yeah, better than we have, for sure. But there's not, people ask you all the time, like, what kind of coach are you? A defensive coach? Are you an offensive coach? Are you a player's coach? Are you, all that kind of. I'm who I am, and I want to be as well-rounded as we want our team to be. I don't want just an offensive guy on the ice. I want a guy that plays defense. I want a guy that is real good through the neutral zone, a guy that works his butt off, and a guy that scores goals. And all us coaches, we want to do the same thing. We want to coach in every area, and hopefully we can have a well-rounded group that will give us a chance to win every night.
That team was seen to have played above its head, which is probably the best compliment that someone can pay a coach. And they were extremely intensely physical a lot of nights when they needed to be. Is this team composed that way?
Yeah.
You feel?
Yeah. We've, again, I think I mentioned this coming here as like everybody talks about our young skill. I see more bite in our game than people give us credit for. But that doesn't mean we're running around and hitting people. It just means that we're going to put pressure on team. If you want to label what I do, I want high intense hockey all over the ice and playing with pressure, putting heat on people, and playing a fast, hard game. And 2 days in camp, that's who I see our team being.
Heard you mention size a couple times. I know the game has changed a little bit, but it seems like there was a little bit of a focus with Don to bring in some bigger bodies this year. As a coach, just what does that allow you to do, just having that little bit of an intangible there?
Well, I'd love to have a great big guy that skates really fast and hits hard and shoots hard and sees the ice really well and make plays. It's fantastic. Obviously, the size of the players, it's incredible now, and it's incredible how big these guys are and/or how quick they are and how they skate. But there's always been guys like that too, right? I mean, you look at the Mark Messiers of the world. That's a big man that moved, and so yeah, I like the size of our guys. Like we've got some big bodies, but that can move. So I for sure I like size. For a small guy, I love it.
So you're telling Don to go get Kachuk, brother?
Well, I told Don to get us a 60-goal scorer. I think I mentioned that before, right? And so, but I don't know why he hasn't brought that guy in yet. But
It's early.
it's early, yeah. And well, he's working. He's working.
You aware that your teams in Minnesota were, as it was written here, that's why we have Goodbranson. That's why we have Olivier here. In the off season that followed that one season where you guys kind of bullied them a little bit.
What do you have to say for yourself?
I've never. Some people.
We got you here. We're putting you under the spotlight now.
Some people have called me a pugilist, but I don't believe it. I don't believe it. So
It's just hard hockey, right?
it's just hard hockey. It's just intense, and I want the guys to play hard every night. And I like to think that I'm an intense person, and hopefully that translates to the group.